Hmm, look who's back. Been 4.5 years and I've turned into a cartoon character. Let's get this out of the way. So, this channel was taken down 4.5 years ago, with no warning, no strike, no explanation, just poof. 5x5 was bye bye. And then 4.5 years later, after you get word that they're letting people appeal and bringing their channels back, which is exactly what I did, guess what? Within 24 hours, I get it back without it. This is, and this. So they're like, everybody should know what the hell is going on around these parts. This is the message that I get. We have reviewed your appeal. Got this, by the way, 12 days ago. Right there it is. After taking another look, we can confirm your channel does not violate our community guidelines. Thank you for your patience while we reviewed this appeal. 4.5 years. I don't think so. Our goal is to make sure content doesn't violate our community guidelines so that YouTube can be a safe place for all. Sometimes we make mistakes. Well, I mean, mistakes is one thing, but fixing them? We got some problemos around here. By the way, the entire time they've done this, they've been going through my channel slowly. I'm just going to show y'all it all. And tell me I can't monetize because I was monetized. So they immediately stripped my monetization because they banned my channel. So that's a whole other thing. The crazy part is now I'm getting like age restrictions, stuff like that. And then weirdly enough, here's this one. We reviewed part 2 of your CV-19, What We're Not Being Told, again, and confirmed it does not violate community guidelines. So they're putting back on the COVID content 4.5 years later. I feel like I have a stinking suspicion I know what's going on. But just call me cray cray. But I feel like it might have something to do with old boom. Google has to pay $24.5 million to end Trump's suit over his January 6th ban. Google agreed to pay $24.5 million to resolve Donald Trump's claims that he was being banished from his YouTube channel after the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol was illegal censorship, according to a court filing. Now, what do you think is going on in the back of their mind after having to pay out almost $25 million for this? How many hundreds upon probably thousands, maybe tens of thousands, could be 100,000 channels were banned 4.5 years ago because we were covering content that wasn't politically correct on this side of YouTube. We weren't lying. I can show you all kinds of stuff on YouTube that it's allowed to exist that would blow your ever loving mind. Okay, blow your ever loving mind, but it's allowed to take place. So we'll see what happens with it. I think there's something interesting that could come along from I don't know. Oh, look, we got some Google announces some contracts going on around here. What's going on with this? Hmm. We got the U.S. Defense Department awarding all kinds of contracts. When did this happen? Oh, July of this year. Huh? Hmm. Hmm. That's just some interesting stuff I thought I'd share with you. But, moving on, because I actually want to get to what I'm talking about today. That's what we're going to do. So, before I start and kind of get into this whole case, which is totally interesting, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this person. Okay. So, who are we talking about? We are talking about Nicole Mitchell. She was a politician out of Minnesota. She was actually a state senator. And this isn't just a nobody. This isn't just someone that, fell off the turnip truck yesterday. This woman, um, she's got quite the career path. So, I'm going to read this to you. Lord knows I don't trust Wikipedia much, but we're going to go for it. And I hope that you can hear me because the minute I share my Zoom, my microphone says that it's not, that you can't hear me. So if I record this whole video and it doesn't do that, I'm going to be absolutely furious. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, here she is. Oh, did you know she was a member of the military? Well, she is. So let me go over and tell you exactly who this person is that we're going to talk about today. She is 50. Before getting into politics, she was a news media meteorologist. She worked at the Weather Channel from 2004 to 2011 with an Jazeera, you know what I'm saying. From America from 2013 to 2016. After some time as a freelance meteorologist at CBS News, working at a WCBS TV in New York and WFOR TV in Miami, she returned to her home state of Minnesota in 2017, which is another weird thing because if you look over at her stuff, it says that she's from, or it says she was from Wisconsin, but or no, she was born in North Dakota. That's what it was. But she returned home to Minnesota in 2017 to become a meteorologist. In 2022, she was elected as a state senator for District 47. In 2025, she resigned, and we're going to get it all into this. But this is what this, so we're not dealing with somebody that does not have a brain, okay? She knows exactly what she was doing. She can't declare oopsies, okay? Military career. Mitchell served in the United States Air Force and the Air Force National Guard. She enlisted in Minnesota's A&G in 1992 and reached the rank of technical sergeant before commissioning into the United States Air Force in 2002. She was assigned to the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, commonly known as the Hurricane Hunters, at Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi as an aerial reconnaissance weather officer, attaining over 1,700 accrued hours in the WC 130. Mitchell remained in the Air Force until 2019, attaining the rank of major. Major. She then joined the Wisconsin A&G, assuming command. Okay. She wasn't flipping burgers in the Air Force. She was the commander of the 126th Weather Flight at Volk Field Air National Guard Base and being promoted to lieutenant colonel in 2020. She's a daggum colonel. Wait till we get to what she did. Mitchell earned, among other awards, the Meteorist Service Medal, blah, blah, blah. She worked at the Weather Channel in 2004. It says the Weather Channel, though, she co-anchored the channel's morning show, Your Weather Today, from 2004 to 2008, and she moved on to co-host the evening edition. It says the Weather Channel terminated Mitchell in 2011. She filed a lawsuit against the channel and the United States District Court of the Northern District of Georgia. Isn't that weird how these people will be working for these other states, but then they'll file a lawsuit in a completely different state, but there's nothing funky going on, right? The District of Georgia in 2011, alleging that she had been terminated because the new owners disapproved of the time required by her simultaneous duties as a captain in the Air Force Reserve Command as part of the Hurricane Hunters team. Does that sound right to you? I don't know. Whatever. I'll have to look and see if she actually won that lawsuit, but no. Then she went on 2013. She was working for the Al Jazeera of America. Mitchell delivered the weather segments in the morning from 7 to 9, blah, blah, blah. She worked for CBS. She worked at Mitchell returned to her home state of Minnesota to join Minneapolis St. Paul Station in 2017. Then she ran as a Democratic Farmer Labor Party candidate for District 47 of the 2022 Minnesota Senate election. She defeated the Republican candidate Dwight Dorough by winning 58.1% of the vote and 41.2%. She served a portion of her 4-year term. Wonder what happened? Well, we gonna get into that. This burglary. Okay, so that's just a little bit about her history. And I'm going to kind of do this weird, kind of almost backwards in a way, because typically I would never show a trial before I showed say body cam footage or whatever. But in this instance, because I've gone through all this, I'm going to have to try and save you guys some time. And I'm going to do it that way, a little kind of, what's going on with my mouse? Oh, a little haphazard way, because I think it kind of makes it easier to understand what happened in this case. So I'm going to start with hold on one second. I'm going to show you a little bit of kind of what's going on. By the way, tell me what you think about my cartoon avatar. I think it's kind of cute, really. I mean, if you have Zoom, go in there and get you one. It comes with it. The pro account does anyway. But yeah, so we're going to go through this. We're going to show you what first came out. Let me make sure I've got my timelines right because it's important to me. On April the 22nd of 2024 is when she was arrested at 4:45 in the morning in the Detroit Lakes, Minnesota area. Okay. So why is that important? She was arrested on April the 22nd, because what I'm going to show you, this came out on April the 25th. So 3 days later, right? So this is right after she was arrested. It's important to follow the narrative of these things because people will try and change them, change their stories when it comes close to, going to court. Let's see what they had to say.
This afternoon, a Minnesota State Senator is strongly denying allegations that she broke the law.
Today, Becker County prosecutors charged DFL Senator Nicole Mitchell with first-degree burglary. Police said that she broke into a home in Detroit Lakes yesterday morning. WCCO's Caroline Cummings has the latest in the case and what the senator herself is now saying.
So I'm going to say I am voting yes.
According to the criminal complaint, police responded to a report of a burglary in Detroit Lakes before 5 a.m. Monday.
And again, remember, we're focusing on what she says a year before trial. That what really happened. I swear, I didn't do nothing.
The home belongs to DFL Senator Nicole Mitchell's stepmother, and police said in the criminal complaint that officers found her wearing all black clothing and a black hat, and that a black backpack was stuck in a small basement window. The document details that she told police she wanted to retrieve some of her late father's things, like pictures.
Again, she's telling police she wanted to get some of her daddy's stuff. That's what it was all about. I could get some of my dad's things at the house.
And his ashes after.
You know how it is. 4:30 in the morning, basement window.
Her stepmother refused to communicate with her and other family members. Police said Mitchell admitted, quote, "I know I did something bad," after being read her Miranda rights. But in a Facebook post,
This is crazy.
This afternoon, Mitchell denies all allegations. Her explanation of what.
This is what she posted on her own Facebook. They're going to go over it again, but look at, this is bad.
Happened drastically different from the police account.
Regarding the recent news, like so many families, mine is dealing with the pain of watching a loved one decline due to Alzheimer's and associated paranoia. Over the weekend, I learned of medical information, and we'll get to that, which caused me grave concern and prompted me to check on that family member. Check. That's sweet. She checked on her. She just didn't want her to know and went in the middle of the night. I entered a home I have come and gone from countless times in the past 20 years. Did you have to break in those times? Where my son even once had his own room. Unfortunately, I startled this close relative, exacerbating her paranoia, you think? And I was accused of stealing, which I absolutely deny. Thank you to all my friends and colleagues on both parties for the kind words of support, for trusting my character even before I had a chance to respond. Yeah, because maybe this is what you're telling them. Let's get to the truth, though.
Detailed in the criminal complaint. She said she went to check on a family member who has Alzheimer's disease and, quote, "I entered a home I have come and gone from countless times in the past 20 years. Unfortunately, I startled this close relative, exacerbating paranoia, and I was accused of stealing, which I absolutely deny."
Victim blaming. You ever heard of that? Victim blaming. Blaming the stepmom for Alzheimer's, that now she's in trouble because she got busted breaking into her house.
Calls are mounting from some members of the legislature for her to resign. The top Republican Senate Minority Leader Mark Johnson said the allegations are, quote,
"Okay, that's enough of that. I think there's something maybe at the very end. There was all blah blah blah. It's not the most important thing, right? So that's what was being said right after she was arrested. She was like, "I was just trying to go in and get some of my daddy's things. That was all. I was just trying to go in and get my daddy's things." This is what she posted. This is why this is important, okay? Because her argument that she tries to make that in court, it's so important to remember that's what she herself put on her own Facebook page of what was going on, medical stuff, and all this other crap versus what she told the cops and all this other. It's a disaster. Okay, so now let's get into some more of the heavier stuff. Okay, I wanna play a couple things for you, and we'll get into the meat of the stuff, the meat of the story. So, and now I just think for context, this is important. I hope y'all appreciate how I kind of lay these stories out. I do it in a way that makes I feel like will be helpful for me. But like this is her first appearance on the Senate floor after the charges. So this is her walking back out there, first time she appears, by the way. This was a year ago, because remember, all these charges from April 29th. So when was she arrested? She was arrested on the 22nd. It didn't take her 7 days to show her face back up here. And she gets a warm welcome, by the way, from a couple. Here she is. Oh, I'm here. No, girl, that happened to me last week. What you talking about? Hug. Yeah, but give me a little huggy hug. There she is. I don't know what y'all looking at. I didn't do nothing wrong. Me, innocent old me. Did absolutely nothing wrong. That was her first appearance 7 days later on the Senate floor. Now, this is going to be a little bit long because I'm going to try and, again, what I do with these trials, tell the story. This is, to me, some of the slimy stuff. I don't like how these people operated. I'm going to show you snippets, right? This is on, at the trial. The aunt is up there on the witness stand. The aunt to Nicole. Okay, so it's her father's sister, basically, and they're showing text messages, which I think are important. And they're gonna get into it. I think she even actually makes her read them, but I'm gonna pause it here just because you can hear it clearly with my southern accent, because it's so much easier to understand. It says, would it be possible to get some of the ashes to take to Washington Island, where we are bringing Julie, Erica, and Laurie's out in June? So that's from the aunt. That's the one on the stand, is the bright pink. And this is the Carol, who was, this whole thing's about, that her house is the one that was broken into. Absolutely. And you could remind me how much the 2 checks were from Lori's estate? We'll get into that in a minute. I see my tax lady on the 22nd and cannot find anything. I'm still a mess. This is right after her husband died. I'll look through the estate stuff tonight. Okay. And then she comes back with 35,000 and 17,000. None of it is taxable. So this is man, if y'all have lost anybody you really love, people's, as my grandmother would say, horns and tails grow. It's like I've watched it happen so much in my family, where people we never saw, didn't know of, and then somebody dies and all of a sudden they were the favorite nephew. It's like, how much do they have in their will? It's so gross, but here we go.
What I would like you to do is I would like you to read this text message, but please, if you can tell the jury which person is which color, and then whoever it is.
So I read it, so I'm going to skim a little bit. But to give you this Laurie, which was the sister to the, it's confusing as hell. So this would be like that Nicole, the senator's aunt, had passed away. And when she passed away, she left all of her estate to all of her siblings. It was supposed to be divided up equally between all of them.
Carol.
So this is why this estate thing's coming in.
Because Emma could remind me how much the 2 fines, and I responded to the team.
Her response initially was that you could have the ashes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did that change at some point?
Yes.
Talk about that, please.
On the day of the internment, we were driving down, and I was trying to get a hold of her to find out when was going to be the best time to get some of the ashes out.
Now, this internment thing is going to matter. She said the day of the internment, and then everything changed. Well, yeah, it did. A lot of things, apparently.
She wanted us to come to her house. It was really windy that day. I really didn't want to do it outside. And she told me that, no, her house was off limits.
House was off limits.
And that I couldn't get any of the ashes anyway because the urn was already sealed. I tried to tell her that that's the way it comes, and it's very easy to unseal it and reseal it. We've just done that with my daughters when she passed away, so we could.
She was being mean to the Mitchell family, or do you think she had forgotten that she had agreed to it?
I think she was being mean.
Now accusing her of being mean.
You just testified that they're
accusing I guess it would be her sister-in-law of being the mean one, okay? The Carol lady. All right. Nicole's stepmom. What is all this about? Again, sorry. I like to be clear with the names. It can get confusing.
Messages between you and Carol Mitchell about her house being off limits.
Yes.
Did you take a screenshot of those messages?
Yes.
Your Honor, I don't know if we have the same issues, but
That's weird. Yeah, we got screenshots going on. Okay, now that kind of sets the tone of how they kind of feel about this lady. Okay, so here is a snippet. I fast forward a little bit. Same woman's on the stand, but this is one of the text messages that she screen grabbed. So this hateful woman they're calling hateful. She says, "Just a note, I'm not doing anything at my house. So if you all want to gather, we could go to the Holiday Inn or whatever. Sorry to say, but my house is off limits." It becomes a lot more obvious to why she might have not trusted people kind of coming in and out of her house as this story goes on, right? All right, we're going to bounce back in with the slime fest. Now she's going to talk about her sister who passed away, and we kind of get to the crux of the matter, which fortunately happens when people lose people they love. Like I said, my grandma said the horns and tails come out.
do you have a sister named Lori Sandry?
I did, yes.
So that answers my next question. Is she alive or deceased?
She's deceased.
When she died, did she die with a large estate?
Yes.
Here we go.
Did she intend for part of that estate to go to Nicole Mitchell?
Objection, speculation.
Your Honor, we just saw text messages about it.
No argument here. Okay. You can approach.
And then you hear what he's saying here. Did she intend for some of her estate to go to Nicole? That is so misleading. Because listen to it. She admits in her. Listen how this goes. Oh, that's right. They had to take a pause. It'll be right back.
To your knowledge, what was the process for distribution of that estate?
Distribution. Listen close.
We were to split it. We were to split it between the 5 remaining siblings. I had a sister at that time that was in a nursing home, so instead of the money going to her, it went to her son. Other than that, it was split between the siblings.
What is your knowledge about those splits either supposed to be going to Nicole Mitchell or any written documentation?
Supposed to be going. If she passed, it went to all of her siblings. Listen, it's so bad.
About part of that money going to Nicole Mitchell?
Part of the money did. Each of the nieces and nephews got money.
So Nicole Mitchell.
So there was something written in something. All these people saying, "Oh, she didn't do a will right, or she didn't do this." Well, something was done to where these nieces and nephews got money. So it's rewriting history here.
A portion of money.
She got a portion of money.
To your knowledge, how much was that?
$10,000.
Okay. To your knowledge, was there anything else that Nicole Mitchell was supposed to get from your sister Lori's estate?
At the time of Lori's death, no.
No.
If. How can I put that? If Lori had died after Rod, all of Rod's share would have gone to Nicole.
If. So what does that say to you? This woman has passed away and her brother Rod was still alive. And they're literally, I kind of believe this judge is allowing it and the prosecutors aren't objecting. Like, what does this have to do with the price of beans in China? Like, the woman passed away and left all of her stuff to her siblings. Her brother was alive, so that portion went to him. They're really trying to make the argument right now. Well, but if her father had died, then all that money would have went to the daughter. But he was alive, so it went to him. Like, what are we talking about?
And was her death unexpected?
Very.
Most of them are.
With that foundation, I'm going to ask the question that was objected to previously. To your knowledge, was an additional part of your sister Lori's estate intended to go to Nicole Mitchell?
Listen.
Had she not died surprisingly before Rod Mitchell?
Yes, it would have.
Had she not died before Rod, so listen to, this just drives me nuts. So none of this has happened. None of this is reality or what took place, but they're arguing in a proceeding that, well, if he had passed away, would it have, well, yeah, but that's not what happened. Okay.
Have ended up going to Nicole.
And Your Honor, I would like to ask you to republish Exhibit 337.
You may.
Anyway, so that goes on. I want to get into is I don't want it to be too long, but we're going to move on with this one. We've jumped up again a little bit because again, this is important. So they're showing another text message from Carol, right? From the stepmom, where she says, "Hi Pam," messaging the sister-in-law about, listen to what it says. They don't care about this part though. "I'm so worried. Nicole is determined to take me to the cleaners, I think. That hearing on July 5th is supposed to be virtual, but I'm going to call my lawyer tomorrow and see if maybe I and you, if you can." So she's leaning on this woman, thinking that she's like, it's sad. Can be in the lawyer's office to watch it. I don't care if she gets that CD of Rod's talking about Nicole. Here it is. And there are 2 checks from Rod's sister Lori that passed away from her estate. Nick can have them too, but the house and everything else is mine. Okay, so now they're going to use this as argument. See right here in this message, she said if she didn't care if she got all that money. Like it's about money. Yeah, if you understand what I'm going to show you, the whole argument from this Nicole woman is, oh, she just cared so much. She just showed up at that house because she was so worried about the health and safety of her stepmom. That's where her heart was. She was just, good Samaritan.
The second part of that, I don't care if she gets the CD of Rod's, and there are 2 checks from Rod's sister Lori. Who do you believe that she is in that text message?
And how this all got brought up in this court proceedings, where the whole thing is about her breaking into her house. But here we are. We're all bringing up messages. How much money should she have gotten?
I'm sure she's referring to Nicole.
So Carol Mitchell is saying that she believes that Nicole Mitchell can have her father's $160,000 CD and $53,000 in checks. Is that correct?
Let's put a number to it, or you wouldn't be a good lawyer.
Correct.
And just to be abundantly clear, Nicole Mitchell never got any of those checks, did she?
No, she didn't.
Any of that money?
No, she did not.
And to your knowledge,
Just to be clear, even though we're here on a burglary charge, she's supposed to get all that money, didn't she? Did she get it? Nope, still hasn't got it. You following me? Now we're going to jump up to where she's on the stand. Okay. Now we've got, Nicole Mitchell herself on the stand. This evil stepmom. Mean old stepmom. Let me blow this up. Let me watch there. I got all that stuff saved. Here we are. Here she is. Mean old stepmom.
Objection, Your Honor. All right. Exhibits 220, 221, 222, and 223 are received, and you may publish.
as you saw yesterday with your aunt, whenever you're ready, we'll read each text message one at a time. I know you.
There's Carol. Look at the 3-word text from old Nicole.
Just said it, but for the jury's sake, please orient the colors of who is talking, and then Mr. Keller will move along as you read them.
I am green. The first one is in the morning on the way to
That's the first honest thing I've heard her say. Green with envy.
Carol's house, leaving Nancy's now. She responded, smiley face. After we'd left, 6:04 p.m. Hope you made it home okay. I went for a walk about 45 minutes ago, and it was so humid I almost melted away. Ha! Thank you for the visit and sharing those wonderful boys with me. Very healing. I really appreciate it all.
Evil.
Hearts.
This evil bitch. Thanking her for bringing her grandkids over and letting her spend some time with her. I can't believe.
I know you're hurting too. And I just want to remind you how much your dad loved you and the boys.
I can't stand when women do this stuff. Whereas like you and they do the same with their voice when they sound like they gonna cry, not a tear falls out of their eye. And I swear, I wish women would glow purple when they were fake crying. It would make life so much easier for so many people in the world.
Has always been so proud of you. Me too. But I know I had nothing to do with it. But still, I am proud of you too, and brag about you. Not only your career choices, but what a, this is the rest, but what a loving, wonderful mom you are.
Hateful. Can't believe this. Can you imagine this getting this message? I mean, my head would pop off how rude she was, talking about how loving and wonderful she is and thanking her. I mean, man, I don't know how she survived. But we're gonna move on from this. Okay, I'm highlighting this because this one's important. I want you to look at the top of this message where it says Sunday, March the 10th, and they go back and forth. This lady gets so crazy how she reads it, like how she'll read her message. It's like, last fall when you went with me, and then she'll get to the smoke bomb and be like, like, it's like, wow. And you can see how long they are. They just keep going, and they're talking about like the internment. She was trying to like do the schedule it and plan it, and then this Nicole woman wound up having to like she couldn't leave session or something. She couldn't go, so they go back and forth about it. And see, she says right here here's the 15th. This is important. Friday, March the 15th. Good morning. Don Howard Funeral Home called me. And Rod's interment will be next Tuesday at Oak Grove Cemetery at 1. I notified Cindy, and she is letting everyone know. The funeral home called her and said, this is when we're going to schedule it. We can all meet afterwards at the Holiday Inn if anyone wants for lunch or just to get together, but not at my house. This poor lady is like, doesn't want nobody to come to her house, okay? It's going to make sense. She was following that gut. But let's pay attention to March 15th, okay?
The Don Howard Funeral Home called me, and Rod's interment will be next Tuesday at Oak Grove Cemetery at 1.
So then the drama begins where she's like, I can't believe I can get away from work. Then she tries to say, I can get away from work the following week. And she says, I didn't get to make the choice, unfortunately. A funeral home decided that. And she said before that they're the ones that called her. This is an older lady. Admittingly, this woman saying she's got Alzheimer's diagnosis. And so she's older as it is. They've called her. I can tell you, having an 81-year-old father, like when somebody calls and says, hey, this is your appointment, they're just like, all right, that's when they can see me. This is the appointment, everybody. Figure it out.
I am so sorry you are so busy. I understand that is the job, but I can't change it. The only consolation I can think of is when you go to Moorhead for Easter, you can stop at the site and have a long conversation with him.
She's still trying. I'm sure he's watching over you and the boys anyway. That's strange. Now, I'm going to read it how I feel like this is exactly how she typed it instead of watch how she reads it. That's strange. I talked to the gentleman at the cemetery, and he said that Good Friday was available for the interment.
I'm sure he is watching over you and the boys anyway.
Watch out,
hurts. Me? That's strange. I talked to the gentleman.
I'm sure that's exactly how she's. That's strange.
At the cemetery, and he said Good Friday was available for the internment. Carol, if that's true, how many other people who already set their schedules would not be able to make it? I am really sorry, Nicole.
I mean, can you imagine just really sorry how hateful she's just being? Look at it. Remember how she reads hers now.
Me? You just told me about this today. We were already planning on coming the 29th. I find it disappointing it would be scheduled for a day that excluded Dad's only child and grand.
Yeah, can you imagine her? You know, dad's only child and grandchildren. I know he'd be hurt. We were excluded too. Like, yeah.
Children. And I know he would be.
Anyway, so like that goes on where this is the kind of like the blow up where the stepmoms had enough and they're like saying they're disdain for each other. And then she's saying, I called the cemetery and they said, you chose that day. Like, look at you chose that day. You planned the ceremony without including his child or his grandchildren. It's not unreasonable that I'd be upset as you excluded us. Well, she got upset and then she ghosted her. She put her on red. She didn't message her or text her anymore. And that becomes really important here in just a second. She does not message her at all. And the fake crying, I'm going to show y'all some of that. This is just... Come on now. Come on now.
And did these text messages occur 1 month before the incident in question in this case?
Yes.
Occurred a month. Important to keep that in a month when she talks about how worried she is about her.
What was the main thing upsetting you from that text exchange and during that time?
Come on, girl, you can do it. You're a politician.
There'd been so much stuff over the past year.
Go.
I didn't want to upset her because she would get agitated or...
She would get agitated. She's not the one that put her on red for a month. She was perfectly fine. It was the old lady with Alzheimer's that she was going to get mad. That's why she avoided her.
And I felt like I just kept shoving down my emotions to not rock the boat.
Person.
When she was giving away Dad's stuff without telling us so that we could even look at it. Time.
Petty. See how she's framing it? Like, I did this all because I was scared of her emotions, even though she was giving away all my dad's stuff without telling. Trying to frame the stepmom as this, like, heartless, ruthless, angry woman.
We would set up a visit, and there was one time I drove all the way up and forgot about it. And
it's important. Listen to what she says. There was one time we drove all the way up and forgot about it. Forgot about what? Telling her? Calling her and letting know you were coming. She says right there, we drove all the way up and forgot about it.
She didn't show up and we were worried.
She didn't show up. She didn't know you were coming.
And then when we finally tracked her down, because she thought it was lost again, she'd forgotten and just had gone somewhere else for the day. And I'd done a whole...
See, then she says she'd forgotten and gone somewhere else for the day, which she just said that she'd forgotten. So meaning that she did. I highly doubt this woman even knew she was coming.
Trip for no reason. Just constant stuff. And I kept trying to...
Come on. Get them up there. Pinch your finger under the table where we're hard.
She was struggling. And
struggling. Not her. You like struggling.
I didn't say anything but that was the one thing that it was so hard because we loved him too. And the people that were coming were going to be, I could guess who it was going to be, and it was probably a couple other retirees who could have come any day. And it seemed like she wasn't going to change it because she was more concerned about a couple of her friends than us actually being able to be there.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like she's got any issues. Doesn't seem like she was upset or angry. It was her stepmom that had all the anger problems. She looks like she took that really well.
And I feel badly that some of my hurt clearly came out.
Oh, do you?
Because I usually just tried, like Nancy said yesterday, when she'd say hurtful things. I mean, there was still a lot of loving stuff, but more of that sort of stuff was leaking out. And that one time I was just so hurt that I kind of stood up for myself, but probably not in the best way.
I was a bitch.
How much contact did you have with Carol Mitchell after this fight about the interment until April 22nd, the night of the incident that is at issue here?
She texted me a couple times, like a couple days later.
And?
I never contacted her again.
So she was reaching the evil, hateful, ruthless, heartless stepmom, even after all that had took place, tried reaching back out to Cindy Lou here, and she ignored her. This is important. Remember this. She ignored her.
I was feeling so emotionally beat up by that point.
I was emotionally,
And there was so much other stuff going on.
Look at this. Oh.
That I just couldn't keep doing it.
Who believes this? If any of you out there, like, why do women do this? This, like, show me a tear.
And I needed a break.
I needed a break. Because beat up by her words.
During that month where you were not communicating anymore with Carol Mitchell, were you doing
nothing?
Were you doing anything related
She didn't even need to grab a tissue and dab a fake tear.
to your concerns about her?
I mean, I was hurt and I needed a break, but I was still also really worried.
Oh.
Because even that, like...
She was so worried that she did not answer this old woman's phone calls that has Alzheimer's, but she was concerned. I'm sorry.
She was so confused. She said, they were picking the date and it wasn't her date and there were another, like, it was just... And I don't know.
Now, okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. I'm not going to watch much of her testimony by her lawyer asking her the questions because it is just, we'll get there, okay? So he's asking her now, well, how did you find yourself up in the Detroit Lakes area on said day of this event?
I wouldn't mind watching, the kids getting to school the next morning. I thought about the things I would want to, like, check in the house, check in the phone for any signs of, decline or not safe things. I just thought of all of those things. And
Did you make a list?
I did make a list.
What time did you end up leaving for Detroit Lakes?
What time, if you were so concerned about your Alzheimer-ridden stepmom, would you consider leaving to go check on her? You've put her on red. You've ignored her for a month. You haven't answered any of her messages. You've ignored her. But all of a sudden, you get a flash of concern where you must go check on her. What time do you think you would leave your house to ride up 3.5-hour trip, by the way? Now, I'll show you that immediately, too. Let's just go ahead and show you how far that trip is, because I got that, bam, right here for you. This is where she drove from. This is where she drove to. This is how long it took her. 3 hours and 50 minutes. You go these ways. This hour is 4 hours and 56 minutes. If you're going that way, you need to get a new GPS. So let's just say 4-hour trip. 4 hours it took her to get there. What time would you leave?
I still tried to sleep on it a little bit. I had everything in place, and And I got up at like 1 in the morning.
1 in the morning.
And yeah, decided, I would say I left about 1 in the morning.
1 a.m.
Why not go later in the day when Carol Mitchell would be up?
Good question.
Because even over much smaller things, there were
Blame her.
there were still good times, but
Blame her.
but there were more times. If she felt kind of threatened in any way, it was becoming a bit more, I hate to say verbally abusive, but unkind things.
Unkind. You're blaming her now. Has ignored her for a month, but it's her fault, by the way. Her fault.
Like the thing about how we must not have loved my dad.
Oh, show me evidence of that. I've not seen it.
So I didn't want a confrontation. I didn't want to hear something awful. I just couldn't.
I didn't want a confrontation, but I care so much about her. I'm going to go do a welfare check on her. That's how she frames it. I got to make sure she's okay in the middle of the night without her knowing. As she's also accused her of being paranoid. I wonder why.
Also, it would have spun her up and got her agitated.
All her fault.
And
Spun her up.
if she would have had any idea someone was checking to see whether she should still be living in her home, she was very adamant she wanted.
Ooh, the truth is coming out. That's what she's going to see, if she should still be living in her home. The same woman. That's all up in her information. By the way, I don't know if I get to this or not, but in here, I think I might have skipped it. She had gotten a laptop, she said, from her, which is, that's questionable how she got that laptop. She gets a laptop and gets into it and finds medical records of her stepmom's that she accesses and reads. Her private medical records.
To just live in her home by herself and kind of be left alone, or that someone, was checking her phone, which is technology.
Sounds like she was getting her ready for a conservatorship. And a shout out to Britney Spears.
She just wouldn't have allowed it. There probably would have been an argument at the door. And
probably.
That would have been that.
So the smarter thing to do is breaking her house.
So you take off from Woodbury at 1 a.m. What time do you get to Detroit Lakes?
I don't remember exactly, but with the time it takes, I believe it was 4:30 or just a little after.
How long are you hoping to be inside the home?
I had it in my head, because I've done shift work a lot of my life, that people start kind of waking up around 5, so I wanted to be done before 5 so that no one saw me.
I'm so concerned about her health. I want to be in and out 30 minutes.
Had you been to that home times before?
Oh, yeah.
What does that have to do with the price
Numerous.
in China?
I'm sorry.
With the same car that you drove that night?
This who put
Yes. So, so some of the neighbors, we had been staying there a lot for the 4 years until Liam joined our family. And then the last year, I'd been trying to, come and visit every month through, I think, November. I had made it up to the house. So I'd been there a lot then. So people would have known me, me in the car, neighbors and stuff.
Is that why you parked a block away?
Yes.
What were you wearing?
I had a sweatshirt on, but I was wearing mostly black underneath.
I had a sweatshirt on, mostly black. Wait till you see her.
Were you wearing anything on your hands?
I don't know when I would have put it on, but I had a flashlight glove I used for camping.
The glove from the receipt that we saw earlier in the trial?
Oh, yes.
That you bought before your dad died?
Yes.
Were you carrying anything else with you?
I had a backpack.
What was inside the backpack?
2 laptops, water.
Those laptops become important when you look at her list she made.
some snack containers, but they actually had been left over in the black backpack, and I'd forgotten to clear them out. Pry bar.
Pry bar.
Be in my sleep
Hope
in
y'all
my
caught that. I skipped you right what I said. She said pry bar.
room with me, and he still does to this day. To my room so that he could sleep in my room with me.
Oh.
And
That's her
and he
blaming
still
her adopted son for the flashlight thing because he's scared of the dark. That's why she had the flashlight that she took to her stepmom's to break in.
does to this day.
There's a lot of blaming here.
So I need it pitch black to sleep. And even with the comfort of being in the same room as
You explaining why she had like a sock over the flashlight so it didn't disperse so much light. Hold on, man. Let me try and get through this. What else do you pack up to take to your stepmom's house when you're concerned about her well-being? Anybody want to take a stab at what the next thing on? Hold on.
Did you have latex gloves in your backpack?
I did.
Why?
I didn't think.
Oh, I should have let that one out. Hopefully they believe this one. Why'd you have latex gloves in your backpack going to check on her?
Carol was that far down the road. But
Listen to this.
the issue with my grandfather and the feces, like,
Then she brings her poor grandpa into it and his fecal matter. Like, this lady is all about blaming everybody.
it's kind of emblazoned in my head, and I didn't
That's
know
what it was.
what I might find since I hadn't been in the house to check since like November.
Hadn't been there in months. Hadn't talked to her in a month. But I'm gonna bring gloves because you never know. She could be smearing poop on the wall.
Especially with her having cats, like, was the litter box
Yeah,
getting
blaming the
cleaned
cats.
and just some of those, or was there old food in the fridge, like those type of
Old
things.
food.
But if I did find something disturbing, my intent would have been to stay and clean.
She doesn't want to be recognized. She wants to get in and out in 30 minutes because she don't want her to know she's there. But then she sits there with a straight face, looks straight at a jury and says, well, if I found something, I would have stayed and cleaned. I would have stayed and cleaned. Holy crap.
You said you had 2 laptops in the backpack?
Yes.
Tell the jury about the 2 laptops.
One was the one that was Carol's, or
This is
that she had given me. And the other one was my own one that I usually did work on.
So let's talk about Carol's first.
So that's important. I want you to, she came over there, but she said one was like the one that Carol gave her. The other one was one she did work on. Remember, she's a state senator. So this means if she's doing work on it, it's a government laptop.
Break them down. Just why did you bring Carol's laptop, although I guess technically it was your laptop at that point, with you back there?
Good question.
I didn't know what else to do. I felt weird giving away the only thing that still had email on it. Just
This excuse, I mean, it just brings it home. She gives her the laptop. She don't want to keep it, so she. I'll
in
let her
case,
explain.
that was ever needed again. I didn't want to keep it. I did want to handle things the right way. And I didn't want to have that temptation to just be looking at the records or whatever else. So I thought the best.
And she says, I won't have temptation looking up records after she's already looked up the most private personal records you could have as your medical records. She's already done that. And then she's trying to say she brings back a laptop that was given to her. She doesn't want. So her solution is to bring it back to the house she's broke into, to like the first burglary ever, to like leave something when you come in. She really is saying this stuff.
Place was to just return it to the house.
Return it to the house.
Did you end up leaving the computer at Carol Mitchell's house?
No, I hadn't gotten to that
Why not?
because things went sideways.
And you got arrested?
Yes.
Sideways.
What about the other laptop, your work laptop? Why did you bring that?
Listen to this.
Because I was tired and stressed out,
tired.
and I forget things. And I wanted to be able to, and I work better on an actual computer. And I wanted to, once I'd seen whatever was in the house, be able to document it before I drove back home and potentially
On a
forgot
work
something.
laptop.
I want to circle back to your attire quickly. Considering the
First, he said because she was tired. She brought it because she was tired and she's forgetful. But then continues on to say that she brought it so she could document what she found in the house on it. So which is it? Did you forget that it was in there and just bring it on with you as you're putting the other, or did you bring it with you so you could take notes on? Like those two things can't be true. But she said them in her testimony.
Mostly black clothing, the flashlight glove, the flashlight covered with a sock. Are you denying that you were trying to avoid being seen?
Oh, I was trying to avoid being seen.
But she's going to claim.
Because the neighbors knew me and my car, and
the neighbors knew her.
The point of checking and not rallying Carol up and not having her get more paranoid would have been kind of futile if one of the neighbors would have seen me and told her, hey, we saw Nicole.
So let's start from when you get out of your car a block away from Carol Mitchell's house. What do you do?
A block away.
Get out of your car. What do you do?
Okay, so we're down there. I got to get to where the actual prosecutor gets her because, I mean, they say what we all think. I lied. I had to stop it here. This is the famous note that she brought in. The way that she explained this note is flippin' hilarious. This says cell, right? Do not disturb is what she says this says. I don't know if I can go back and, I mean, maybe y'all should hear. This is just ridiculous. It's just hilarious. I kind of want to screen grab this, though, so I can remember what it says here. Let me just do this real quick because this is just hilarity to me that she says what she says about this daggum note. Like, it is ludicrous.
So for the cell phone, check the do not disturb or make sure she doesn't have it. So
just to make sure, let's act as if nobody's ever seen this piece of paper before. When you say cell phone, please explain who you mean.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I wanted to check the cell phone of Carol Mitchell. The first item is to check that, do not disturb or anything that she might have accidentally turned on that would have kept her from getting communications. The second one was, it says delete texts, to make sure that she wasn't starting to, delete anything off, that kind of like with the emails, right?
She put delete text and delete contacts, and she is sitting on the witness stand testifying that it's because she wanted to make sure that she didn't delete anything. Not that she was going in there to delete text messages and contacts from her phone. I swear. I mean, I'm such an honest person. That's what that meant.
She thought she was getting rid of email by deleting things, just kind of that same thing. Same thing with the contacts. Make sure that it looked like there were still contacts in the phone. Some of the, important people were still in the phone.
If she was trying to check and make sure that she had these people's stuff still in the phone, why is the word delete in front of it? Makes absolutely no sense at all.
Just in case, just in general, to make sure she wasn't doing those things, but also especially if there was any sort of an emergency, to make sure that she had the contacts she needed.
She wanted to make sure she had the contacts she needed, but there's the word delete right there. I don't know what.
And they were still on the phone. And then I made a line because it was new thought. Landline.
She didn't say make sure the ringer's on. She says landline, ringer off. What does that say? I mean, the way she's spinning this list is hilarious.
Same thing. Make sure there had been times I would call both the cell and the landline and I wouldn't get any answers, and I would never.
And listen to what she's saying here. There'd be times I'd call the cell and the landline, I wouldn't get any answers. She hadn't talked to her in a month. She was avoiding her phone calls. Who's avoiding who in this situation? It was this Nancy lady avoiding Carol. But her whole list is about her. Nicole lady avoiding Carol. And the whole thing is like she's trying to make it out like she was avoiding her. That's what's crazy.
Or, get a call back or anything. So just make sure the ringer wasn't off or turned down. The next one is flashlight. I think just mid-thought, I remembered I needed a flashlight.
I'm going to stop you here.
Yes.
Before you go to the next word, explain.
She's going to explain stuff. Can't even stand it. She's got ad tracking Gmail. She wants to track her emails. I don't care. She's trying to say, oh, it was come up here from the cell thing. She's going to do that on the phone. Come on. We're not dumb. Text to computer. Why do you think she had the laptop with her? I don't know. Maybe that's self-explanatory right there. She wants to upload all the text to her damn computer.
The arrow?
the arrow and the line and how.
To me, it goes right along with this one. Add tracking Gmail text to computer. So every time she gets or receives a text, this lady's going to get it. They should have gone through her laptop and seen what was on her laptop, any kind of tracking programs that she could have uploaded to that cell phone. That's why she went in that bedroom. She testified on the witness stand that she went in that bedroom because she could not find her phone. So the phone wasn't where she thought it'd be. I think in the living room is where she said she normally had it plugged in, but she couldn't find her phone there. She went to this woman's bedroom. She said, "Oh, I just wanted to make sure her phone was in there with her. I just want to make sure her phone was in there with her. That's all. I was just worried about her. I wanted to make sure her phone was charged. That's why I went in there. Y'all, come on now." Like, ugh. Anyway, this is why I'm starting this way first, so y'all can watch the body cam footage at the end, so you can see actually what happened. That we'll let her say a couple.
How that ties together, please.
Okay, so I'd originally made the line to separate like the cell phone, like that was the end of what I thought of. But then I thought of something additional, and so I wrote add tracking and then put the arrow down to show that that new thought actually belonged. You know, they were together.
So what did you mean by add tracking in relation to Carol Mitchell's cell phone?
So, like I thought I'd said earlier, but I don't remember if I did. She had a tendency to be turning things off, you know, even if she was just paranoid. And I wanted to make sure that she hadn't and she was getting lost even with what I assumed on her phone was Google Maps. So I just wanted to make sure somehow she hadn't turned on that like specific location device, that anything GPS was turned on, that I added back in.
GPS, she's got to add tracking. But it was really about the GPS maps, you know. She didn't want to get lost. Tracking is a lot different than GPS.
And anything related to if she got lost, so that someone would be able to track it. Because if it's just using the signal, it's a lot less precise than, you know, if the police or someone are able to use GPS to track a lost adult.
I might have misheard you, and I want to give you a chance to clarify. So you were going to turn that off, or you were going to turn that back on?
I thought there was a chance she had either like turned that stuff off or whatever, and I wanted to make sure.
This is a woman she testified to that thought that if she just unplugged her laptops that she didn't have internet anymore. And she says this on the stand, that her stepmother thought that if she just unplugged her laptop, she wasn't paying for Wi-Fi. That's what she thought. But she thinks she's sophisticated enough to know how to turn on and off tracking devices.
I added back on any capabilities related to, you know.
If the button was turned off, you were going to push the button back on.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get to the prosecutor. I can't, man. Okay. All right, now it's good for the good time. Here comes the prosecutor.
Mr. McDowell. Good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell.
Look at her face. How she immediately turns into bitch mode. You know, resting bitch face. He says even when she didn't say nothing back, it's like, "Good morning." She just turns her face. At her. That's a nice one, by the way.
Save your own skin. That's what you testified to?
If I used those words,
Well, Mr. DeCray asked you and you agreed, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how do we know you're not saving your own skin right now?
I think I just explained that.
Ms. Mitchell, you were with Officer Sternhagen for roughly 37 and a half minutes. Would you dispute that? Adding in the drive time that was edited out of the video.
If that was the officer whose car I was in, I don't remember all the names, but I would not dispute that.
37 and a half minutes from the time you were ordered to the ground till the time you walked into that cell. You understand that?
Yes.
0 times in 37 and a half minutes did you mention you were there out of concern for Carol Mitchell. 0 times. Do you agree with that?
I remember how she all testified with her lawyer. She was like, you know, I'm just this great person. Look at her face when she's dealing with the prosecutor. That's the reality right there.
I would disagree.
It's a yes or no question.
No.
You don't agree with that?
I do not.
Okay. 0 times you mentioned anything about medical information, finding out medical information.
I agree with that.
Okay. Let's back up a little bit.
You see what he's saying? Like, it's one thing to say that she was saying all this stuff when she was around, but they put her in her cop car, drove her all the way to the police station. She never said anything, but I was worried about her. I was just there because I was wanting to check up on her. She told the cops from beginning to end she was there to get some of her dad's things. That's what she was doing there.
So, Ms. Mitchell, you agree here that you did not have consent to enter Carol Mitchell's house that morning?
I absolutely agree.
And that morning, I mean April 22nd, 2024.
I agree.
And here in Becker County, 709 Granger Road.
I agree.
And you agree that Carol Mitchell was indeed inside the residence when you broke in?
I agree.
That she was present?
I agree.
I'm going to bounce around a little bit here. So you did not object or contest the estate, correct?
I did not.
Your father's estate?
I did not.
And the entire estate was awarded to Carol Mitchell?
It was.
And you heard the testimony yesterday, correct?
Yes.
Your Aunt Nancy?
Yes.
She testified that you, in her opinion, you were honest and trustworthy?
You'll get her.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay. And you just told us that you act with integrity and you believe you are an honest person?
I qualified some exceptions, but generally, yes.
But you also obviously admitted to lying, claiming to be lying to officers repeatedly?
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell, I want to circle back to the internment argument. Or could I publish defense exhibit? I don't remember the number.
243 and 248, I believe, right?
243 and 248? So, Ms. Mitchell, sorry, I just lost the exhibit. All right, I'm just going to ask you, you read those text messages?
I had.
Okay. I'm done with the publishing, Your Honor. If I could take down the... You understand that the Carol Mitchell's initial text that started all this said that they are going to call me. And she thought it would be April, but they are going to call me.
I can't see it, but that sounds correct.
Is it? And then when she informed you later on in the other exhibit, which...
We're more than happy to help you get the exhibit up, Your Honor.
Are they struggling? That's what we're just
correct you that, quote, David Donnerhauer funeral called me, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so I guess my question is do you believe with all the situations you've given us and presented us with the history, do you believe that it's possible that Carol Mitchell thought this had to be the day based on the tenor of the conversations from the funeral home?
Yes, that's why I called them to confirm and then told her that it could actually be other days.
And I'm not discrediting the pain that you felt, Ms. Mitchell, I assure you. I'm merely asking do you agree this was the disease that caused this miscommunication?
Yes.
jumped on that.
So, Ms. Mitchell, you walked us through somewhere around the nature of 4 years of history and examples and progression of Carol Mitchell's Alzheimer's. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Roughly. And then we had the argument over your father's ashes, the internment.
Yes.
And you said that you were upset and, quote, needed a break.
Yes.
Okay. And you agree you did not call, see, or text Carol Mitchell until you were in her house on April 22nd?
Yes.
For over a month.
Let's talk about the medical information. So, first of all, who gave you permission to access Carol Mitchell's medical information?
I did not have permission.
Integrity.
And you, on April 20th, you read something that was very concerning to you.
I did.
And it was so concerning that you didn't tell your aunts? Yes or no?
I did not.
You didn't tell Jonathan Kuhl?
No.
Didn't tell Pat Muxfield?
No.
Didn't even try to reach out to Carol?
No.
Well, I love a good prosecutor. They just say it. They're like, oh, you were so worried you didn't call nobody, including her.
And so you specifically arranged for your stepfather to watch your children?
Yes.
Okay, and so when you were arrested, that created a little bit of a problem in terms of getting back on time?
Yes.
And so your biggest rationale for what you characterize as deceiving, lying to law enforcement is that you didn't want Carol to get upset. With your statements.
That I thought if we calmed it down, she would drop the charges.
Sure. But the problem with that story is that you were with the officers much longer outside of her presence than with her presence, right? And you continued the story. You repeatedly said you were there to take your dad's things even when Carol wasn't present. Correct?
Correct.
So when you said, I have never done anything like this, was that fact or fiction to the officer?
Fact.
Okay. When you said, you're going to find out I'm a military commander, for God's sakes, was that fact or fiction?
Fact.
Okay. What was the purpose in telling him that?
I think that's when it was dawning on me that, just any interaction with police, I would have to tell, and also, I think it was just like, I'm not this crazy person.
And you said that, and that was a fact.
That was a fact.
That was the truth.
Correct.
And intertwined with that same sentence, you said, there's just a couple of my dad's things I came to get. So you were able to, on the spot, think to craft a lie mixed in with something truthful.
Correct.
Well, you're an honest person, correct?
Integrity.
Typically.
Typically.
When you said, I'm hoping this mistake won't completely fuck up my life, were you being truthful or deceitful?
Truthful.
How about when you said, I know I did something bad?
Truthful.
Truthful? Brutally honest?
I had scared Carol out of her mind. That was horrible.
Okay.
So checking on a loved one is something bad?
The part that was bad was the fact that I was doing everything in my power to not upset her and escalate it, and I ended up doing the exact opposite.
Listen how she frames it. I was doing everything in my power to not upset her. That's why I dressed in completely black garb, parked a block down the road, and broke into her house. Because, I can't think of anything more upsetting to an elderly woman with Alzheimer's. I was just trying to be kind.
And I just wanted to get a couple of my dad's mementos, and that's all, in the back of the squad. And that was
A lie.
That was a lie. That's what you're telling us here today.
Yes.
Such a lie that you were able to come up with the next sentence and say a couple pictures and maybe one of his flannel shirts. You were able to spin that on the spot and come up with the items.
Those were actual items I had wanted.
You did want them.
They were items I had wanted at points because I also said the ashes. And I believe I had taken that particular question as what things had you wanted because I included the things I'd asked for to include some things that didn't exist anymore.
And then later on, when Officer Wolfe questions you in the back of the squad, asks you about the laptop, you went out of your way to say, I just wanted to get a couple things before anything else gets destroyed. And you were able to spin that on the spot?
I don't recall saying that.
If it's on the...
And remember her testimony earlier when she accused her of giving a bunch of stuff away without them having any idea or the ability to go through it. Remember, she said that on the stand.
Body camera, would you agree you said it?
If it was on the body cam, I would agree.
Ms. Mitchell, I'll have you back up a little bit further away from the mic. Thank you.
So when you were asked what got you to this situation, you said the ashes. Was that truth or fiction?
So when I watch it...
Just pick one, please. Truth or fiction?
I was talking about to the point of the check, and that was truth.
Okay. Now, you elaborately, eloquently described all the things you did in the house after you broke in with the crowbar. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Okay. Yet, when you were questioned in the back of the squad, you said, I had literally just gotten into the house, hadn't had time to do anything. Clearly, I'm not good at this. You recall that?
I do recall that.
Okay. So, again, just
see what he's doing to her. He's discrediting her across the board. She's lied about her intentions of being there multiple times, changed her stories. Now she said, oh, I just now got in the house. I haven't had time to do anything. With her own lawyer, she described her walking through the whole house, including going to the bedroom of her stepmother and laying. Like, she says she was standing there and she bumped into her. I'm going to show you some of that, what the stepmom had said. This woman, she just cannot tell the truth.
Just a brilliant lie you were able to craft under the pressure of being arrested?
The other officer had just, I believe, asked me, I had to kind of watch the body cams to figure out why I might have said that, had just asked me, did you drive down? Did you stay at a hotel? And I was very confused. And then the other officer, I believe, then asked something about the timing. And I think I believed he was still kind of asking, like, if I'd driven or stayed in town. And
remember this part? She's saying that she said she had just gotten there. She's talking about when she got into town and whether or not she's staying in a hotel room. Just remember this little section right here.
And so I was kind of conflating those two questions. But
I had literally just gotten into the house. There's not much room for interpretation there, wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
And then
in real time, she tried to spin that and say she was talking about when she got into town. When on the body cam footage, as he pointed out, she literally says just got in the house.
Finally, before you're put in the holding cell, Officer Sternhagen asks you if there's anything else you want to add, and then he says, what made you so you got to do this or whatever. He said, something that's weighed on me, especially this past month, a lot of sleepless nights, couldn't sleep, and thought about it. Truth?
It's true.
And it was necessary to dress clad in all black to check on Carol Mitchell.
I was dressed in all black.
Were those military-issued pants you had on?
It was a long underwear set that I bought at Target.
And the stocking cap was necessary for a welfare check?
I was trying not to be seen, and it was still April and cold outside.
If I told you it was 49 degrees that morning, would you disagree with me? At 4 a.m.?
That sounds about right.
Okay. Is that stocking cap weather?
For an extended period of time, and I had driven down there.
For an extended period of time, she walked a block and was in a heated house.
Probably keeping the window open to stay awake a little bit, yes.
Well, you're meteorology, not me.
That's hilarious.
Is that stocking cap weather?
For me, for an extended period of time, yes.
And your concern was not being seen by the neighbors, so you parked a block away.
Watch this.
Yes.
Tell us your stepmother's neighbors' names.
Wow.
I can remember a little bit about them, but not the names.
Okay.
She knew him so well. They knew her so well. He's so smart to do that. What was her name? She's like, I just don't know about them. I don't know their names though.
You don't dispute that you entered through the egress window?
I do not.
You don't dispute that you used a crowbar to gain entry? Or a pry bar, excuse me.
Yes.
That pry bar right up there, that's yours?
Yes.
That's the one you packed
Yes.
before driving 220 miles?
Yes.
Okay.
A pry bar and the gloves that, she wanted to clean with.
I want to circle back. So you're very close to your aunts, Cindy and Nancy, is that correct?
Yes.
You trust their judgment?
Typically, yes.
Okay. And obviously all this has been done out of concern for Carol Mitchell.
Yes.
Okay. And yet yesterday, your aunt Nancy told us, admitted on cross-examination, that your relationship with Carol was not stellar. Carol Mitchell. You understand that?
I hadn't heard a question.
Wow.
Your Aunt Cindy gave a statement to the defense investigator as well. Are you aware of that? Cindy Markey, I believe her name is?
That is my aunt, yes.
Okay. Would it shock you if she told the defense investigator that your relationship has never been good from day one? Would that shock you?
I met her when I was 4. I'm not sure how that would be entirely accurate, but yes, we have had rocky times.
Let's talk about.
I just want to go back to the messages where she wrote her, like, thank you for bringing the boys, and it lifted me up, the evil stepmother, and her hateful text messages telling how proud she was of her,
When you were in the house, your testimony is that Carol Mitchell bumped into you when you were standing?
Yes.
Okay, so you're denying that you were laying next to her bed?
I am.
Okay, again, is this truth or fiction?
Truth.
And your testimony is that Carol Mitchell followed you downstairs with her knife?
No, I heard her when I opened the door. I heard her. Would have been near the bottom of the stairs, and she would have been near the top of the stairs in the kitchen, and I heard her say she had a knife. So she grabbed it at some point in time.
And you heard the 911 call, correct?
I did.
And so your characterization is that you gave yourself up as soon as the officers were there?
Wrong.
I do not believe I said that.
Well, tell us in your mind what happened when the officers arrived.
I heard them at some point. Again, I didn't understand that she didn't understand it was me, or so I was shocked when I heard the yelling and the screaming.
She testified, I skipped over the last, but I watched it, that when she went in the bedroom, it was so pitch black she couldn't see anything. So she thinks this old lady gets up and can tell who it is.
And honestly, I was afraid. I didn't come out because being in the military, I mean, most people are wonderful. I was a little afraid to move or do anything. I kind of froze, to put it simply, because...
Please just remember these parts where she's talking about when the police get there, she's scared to move. I'm going to go ahead and spoiler alert a little bit. They shout from the top of the steps, police department, police department, come out, please. I mean, plenty of time for her to do something, by the way.
Occasionally you have people, at least people I've worked, rare.
Listen to this.
But that are almost looking to shoot someone.
You didn't want to get shot?
They're looking to shoot someone. Wow.
And so I stayed in place until...
This is your hashtag defund the police person right here. State Senator out of Minnesota. I'm almost willing to bet if I looked in her record, she's probably one of those that said it. That's how she thinks about the law enforcement of Minnesota. Remember, she's a state senator representing law and justice and policies and getting things passed and put into law. That's how she feels about her police department there in Minnesota.
Came to that area, I opened the door and I stood there.
She didn't open she opened the door and stood there.
You brought the flashlight with you, of course?
Yes.
Okay, and your testimony is that was already modified for your son and that wasn't for this trip?
Correct. I believe his name might have even been on the flashlight.
Does that matter?
And it was also necessary, of course, to throw in a pair of flashlight gloves for welfare check?
The flashlight gloves is what I primarily used. They're not as bright, so the other flashlight is actually very bright, and it was kind of a backup. I just hadn't taken my kid's sock off it.
Yeah. She's military. All right. And then she's state senator, but she didn't bother to take the sock off. It wasn't to hide, how bright the flashlight is, because she was sneaking around this house as a burglar.
And in your testimony, it was necessary to remove your shoes to check on Carol, to check on the residents?
They'd gotten dirty in the well, and we always take our shoes off. I didn't want to track anything through the house.
She didn't want to track anything in the house because she didn't want to get it dirty. Not that it could have been seen later on in the day that would to highlight that somebody had been in this woman's house. So they got dirt. Yeah, that wasn't it. She was caring about it. She didn't want to get the floor dirty. Not that it exposed her breaking in this house.
Now, you testified on direct that you did not have anything in your possession, correct?
Uh-huh.
Any of Carol or your father's?
Nothing that was not mine.
Okay. And isn't that true because you were caught right away?
I had checked the whole house at that point, so I wouldn't agree with that.
Okay. You had checked the whole house, but you told Officer Wolfe that you had literally just gotten in there.
I would guess I'd been there about 10 minutes.
Integrity, honesty.
But you went out of your way to tell him you hadn't had time to do anything.
My main objective was the phone, and I had not gotten to that.
Oh, there Or she said the main objective was the phone. Huh. The one she made the list about? The phone she made the list about? Wow. So I'm looking it up right now. Hold on, Jose. We got to make sure we see that. Main objective was that phone, folks. What was she doing with the cell phone? Do not disturb. I'm feeling like this is my opinion. I feel like because I don't believe anything coming out of this woman's mouth, and I'm reading her little note that she wanted to put it on do not disturb. I think this woman was spiteful and vengeful and hateful. I believe she went in there to just because she wanted to take things, and I think she wanted to go in there and mess with this lady. I think she wanted to put her cell phone on do not disturb, so she felt like nobody was calling her, or even if she did a welfare check, that somebody go in there and she's messed all this stuff up. She's like, oh, see, she's out of her mind. We need to take control of her assets or blah, blah, blah. Delete text, delete contacts. That's what she's going to do to the woman. Go in there and delete all of her messages and delete her contacts out of her phone. She's an old woman with Alzheimer's. You think she remembers phone numbers? I think this is a vengeful, hateful, evil lady. She's going to turn the ringer off on her landline. So whenever people called her, they couldn't answer the phone. Then that would give a person to go over there and give a welfare check or whatever reason. She was trying to make this woman look out of her mind, add a tracking on her Gmail, download her text messages to the computer that she conveniently brought with her and was slid in the window. She brought 2 laptops. Still don't think that laptop was in her possession. I think she probably took it from that house. Nothing about this, anything this lady says, I believe. I'm reading her letter as it states it. Delete, ring her off, tracking app.
Your other objectives were checking cat litter and deep freezes?
Yeah, cat litter.
If that's how you'd like to phrase that.
That wasn't me phrasing it, that was your testimony.
My objective was a welfare check.
Well, remember she brought the gloves in case the litter box was dirty and the refrigerator had expired food in it, because she was going to stick around and clean.
And yet, in 37 and a half minutes with Officer Sternhagen, you never mentioned that once.
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
And see, her attorney doing that objecting, I have no idea whether prosecutors didn't object a half a dozen times for leading questions by the defense attorney. Half his questions were leading.
Ms. Mitchell will have you back up again. Thank you.
Oh, there's that. Now we get to the meat and potatoes of this video. Now we're going to get to the body cam footage. You have watched everything. I hope I presented it to you. I know in a kind of backwards way, but I needed you to see how she laid this down as her defense about what was going on. The things she said, the first thing she posted on her Facebook account, blaming her stepmom with Alzheimer's, that she startled her. But it was because she paranoid and stuff. That's what happened. It wasn't she broke into her house, at 4 a.m. So here we go. Full screen. This is the body cam footage of the morning that she was arrested. Miss Nicole Mitchell, the welfare check lady that was also a state senator and also, military lady, just golly, oh shucks, oh darn. She was promoted to a lieutenant. Then I think she made it to didn't I say she made it like a colonel or something? Like this lady, God love her. She had no clue what she's doing. She was just there to check on somebody because she had a big old heart. Where's the body cam footage that says right here in the top, the title of it says Senator fought the release of this body cam. I bet she did. Now you've heard all this. Now watch what happened that morning. Thank God for body cams.
On April 22, 2024, Becker County Police Department in Minnesota received a 911 call reporting an active break-in. Little did they know, they would soon find out the suspect is an elected senator for the state of Minnesota.
Becker County 911.
Somebody just broke into my house.
Oh,
They just ran down into my basement.
Did you get a look at him at all?
No, it was completely dark. I tripped over him. He was on the floor next to my bed.
Now, this is immediate statement from her calling 911. She said they were on the floor next to her bed and she tripped over them. Remember the later test of the Nicole's testimony on the stand said that she never laid down on the floor. She ran into her. I'm going to believe the old lady with Alzheimer's. That's saying a lot.
They ran downstairs into my basement.
Okay. Can you hear them breaking out the window in the basement?
I'm not hearing anything right now.
Okay.
There's a basement, a drop window that can crank open. I don't know. Please just get here.
I'll stay on the line with you. Don't worry. I have officers en route right now. If you hear anything, just let me know what's going on, okay? Are you armed?
I have a little steak knife in my hand right now.
Steak knife? Okay. All right.
I don't know where they go.
Poor little old lady. This poor little old lady scared to death.
See any,
Got a steak knife.
My yard lights haven't come on outside or anything, you know, the motion light in the back or anything.
Did you notice any vehicles or anything like that?
Maybe it's because your nasty old evil stepdaughter knew where your dadgum, lights were on the outside that would be triggered by motion. I don't know, but she was there to check on you.
No, I haven't.
Okay, am I speaking with Carol?
Yes. I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, my God.
Do you hear anything at all?
No. Is that place?
There's officers that just came outside your residence, yeah. You just came out there.
Okay.
You're about to be introduced to the monster of Minnesota. Carol.
You're good.
There she is.
Here. There's a drop window in the back side of the house, and I don't know if that's...
Is he outside or inside?
He ran down here.
Okay, I'll go down there. You stay back here.
Okay.
By the way, she's calling him a he for, so apparently she has no idea it's her stepdaughter.
Police department, make yourself known.
Now, again, remember the testimony of she was scared of being shot by the cops. She just stood there until they come and find her. They did all this telling them to come out.
Police department, make yourself known. 37 back there got a little motion underneath the stairs in the house. Sounds like he's trying to get outside of the back to the north of the house. Police department, make yourself known. He's still in the house. A lot of motion underneath the stairs. Sounds like he's trying to get outside through a window. Police department, make yourself known now.
And I'm going to be honest, I think that's exactly what happened. When we get to the window we show with the backpack being shot, I think that's exactly that rustling and all that noise was her trying to scurry out that side window, and she couldn't get out in a panic. Her backpack was blocking the way. She's trying to shove that backpack out and get out her dadgum self. And when he screamed, it scared shit out of her. She ran and hid.
Where to?
This is my opinion.
The other officers downstairs were trying to see.
COVID off.
Here, watch out.
And this Alzheimer lady come live with me any day. Look how clean her dadgum house is. Miss, I'm worried there's going to be fecal matter on the walls, gloves.
Where's he at? Here, underneath the stairs. Police department.
And isn't that sad? You see what's right there hanging above the basement thing? Look at this.
Police department.
Look at that right there. Nicole Mitchell hanging right there. Little do they know.
Underneath the stairs? That's what I was hearing motion at. Is there a way to get underneath the stairs?
Becker 05, if you come up long, looks like there's a long driveway right to the back of the residence.
Another bathroom there.
Hey, one more thing. Remember she said she was scared she could get shot. So the smart thing for her to do is wait till instead of answering them when they're yelling at her for the top of the steps, it's me, I'm down here, I'm not armed. She waits till they come downstairs with their weapons drawn before what she says flings open a door like she's standing there, because that's the smart thing to do.
Another bathroom there. It's a disaster because my husband passed away from last year, and everything's...
Look.
Get on the ground.
Okay.
There's Mr. I'm worried about my stepmom.
No. You stay back. Stay back. Stay back.
Hands behind your back.
Carol? Yeah?
She says her name. She says Carol, and she's like, yeah. Like, see, she knew it wasn't her.
It's Nicole.
It's Nicole. This lady is such a liar. She's like, she knew it was me. She's doing it to me. And then she said, it's Nicole. Why would you do that if you thought she knew who it was?
It's Nicole? I was just trying to get a couple of my dad's things because he wouldn't talk to me anymore.
Look at her. I was just trying, because you wouldn't talk to me anymore. Even though she testified on the witness stand, she's the one that was ignoring her. That she had tried to reach out to her a couple times. She just ignored her and wouldn't answer her. But because she wouldn't talk to her anymore. I hope that woman has good people around her now. This lady should be under the jail. And it's kind of infuriating to me that she wasn't. She's like given probation or some shit. I'll end with that.
She also stole documents out of her house. She's my stepdaughter.
I didn't steal any documents. How did I steal documents?
Nicole, what's your last name?
Mitchell.
Stand up.
No one stole anything here, Carol. I don't have anything on.
No one stole anything. Look how she's dressed. I didn't steal anything, but I was just coming in to steal. She said to them she was coming in there to steal some of her, quote, dad's stuff.
You got anything on you?
No.
So aggravating.
I have a flashlight. That's it.
Okay. God, sis. Why was she squatting down next to my bed?
Who is this to you?
Pardon?
Who's this to you?
She's my stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter.
She's also a Minnesota senator. She lives in the Twin Cities.
Unknown to the officer at the time, the suspect previously was a meteorologist for the Weather Channel and a local news anchor before being elected a senator.
She's a senator?
Yeah. Yeah. Was.
Was or is currently?
She is. I meant after this.
Oh.
She has her wherewithal to know that probably ain't gonna last much longer.
My husband passed away, just her father. And the day after he died, her aunt came here and they walked out with all these, it was two of my husband's sisters. She's very close to one of them, Nancy.
Okay.
They were walking out the door with all these forms and I ran out the door. I said, what are you guys doing? Nancy said, we're just trying to help you, just trying to figure out where you are financially.
No, it's my partner.
Okay.
Anything else in here? Did you
No,
drop
there's
anything
not.
else?
No,
Okay.
sir.
All right.
She's gonna do what she's gonna do.
Okay.
My dad died last year. She's paranoid. Well, now she's really paranoid.
I wonder why.
But, can I just grab my shoes?
Where are your shoes at?
Just under the thing.
1015 is a senator from Minnesota.
Where's he at?
He's downstairs with her still.
Why are your shoes stuck all the way on there?
Well, because I was trying to get him with my feet.
Remember, she took them off because she was worried about tracking in the crap. And the cop's like, why are they all the way under here? She was like, oh, because I was trying to get them off my feet. Remember when she testified on the witness stand, she said she'd placed them like on the arm of the couch or whatever it was. Oh, that didn't make any sense to me if they were dirty. But, you know,
Has she done this before?
Not that, but she's insisted that my son should get nothing. She should get everything, all that stuff.
Where'd she come in at?
now there's some of the truth. She said she's insisted my son should get nothing and she should get everything. It's been all about money. Look how they went on the witness stand and talked about her Aunt Lori's CDs and stuff. Now they use this opportunity while she's in court on a burglary charge to say that, see, she was supposed to get that $200-something thousand. It's all about money.
You know? You don't know?
No.
Any doors that are open?
My doors
Does she have
open.
keys?
They had those
Sticks?
sticks on them.
Any windows open that you don't know of?
My keys haven't run off, and so
Okay, any windows in the basement? To the basement?
that's the one I think that she must have come in.
Where's that window at?
When everyone tried to help her right after the funeral.
She's not trying to help me. She's trying to get money.
She
kept.
Bam! Look at the lady with Alzheimer's. She's like, whenever we tried to help her right after the funeral, help her. Listen, I've had this stuff happen in my life. I'm sure many of you had. Comment down below if this ever happened to you. Right after my grandmother's death, like some stuff had happened that upset my mother, where she felt like one of her sisters had rushed in and gathered a bunch of my grandmother's stuff up. And whenever my grandmother wasn't even cold. The same thing happened to my dad when my Uncle Carl died. My dad had spent a decade down there taking care of my Uncle Carl, the one that took him to his doctor's appointment, took him to the grocery store. My dad was his sole transportation. My dad would go down there and help mow his yard. My uncle had 20-something acres on the lake. And then after he dies, all of a sudden, all these nieces and nephews, and all of a sudden, like people in his family, they all remembered who Uncle Carl was after he died, all clamoring for a piece of that 20 acres. And my dad stepped back, wiped his hands, and said, you all can have it. I ain't fighting for this. I didn't help him because I wanted anything. But that's the kind of exposure that I've seen when people pass away that has left a really bad taste in my mouth of just how, what people are really made of when they didn't know who you were the whole time you were alive, and the minute you die, all of a sudden you would have left them everything.
Right after the funeral.
We tried to help her. She says she's not trying to help me.
Trying to help me. She's trying to get money.
She's trying to get money. This lady seems like she's all right put together. She knows what's up.
Kept. I can show you my bank account.
Well, let's go upstairs.
How dark it is there.
Obviously, I'm not good at this.
The same. Look how she's dressed. Black toboggan, black long sleeve shirt, black pants, black shoes. But she's there for a welfare check, y'all.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're leaving.
Yeah, we'll go to my car here quick and we'll let you sit down.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
That window?
Over here. Yep.
There it is.
Okay. Is this her bag?
Must be.
Yeah, stuck in the window.
You mean to go out and try to get it out?
Yeah. I'll take a picture of it before I touch it.
That's why I feel like that, like, well, the laptop wasn't hers, is because that he just said that backpack was stuck in the window. So if she came in that window with it, easily got through it. She testified on the witness stand she had it. So that was her trying to get her ass out of that house when the cops got there, trying to shove that backpack through, and it hammed up on her or whatever. And so why would it do that unless she'd added something to the bag?
Something woke me up.
Did you hear something?
Something woke me up.
Okay.
I stepped over the side of the bed and there was a body laying on the floor next to me.
Okay.
What would you do?
See, look. You had to wiggle it out.
Do you know what she'd be here for?
Paperwork, bank account numbers. I have no idea what you
Okay. I guess we'll check that bag, see if anything in there is yours.
Yes.
37, you can close that window. I also noticed a hammer on the steps. You might want to ask about that on your way up.
3705, where'd you say that hammer was?
Steps, last step before the door. All right, have a seat. Are those tight? Hold on. Get up. You just want to make sure they're locked so they don't tighten up on you.
This is not my normal life.
So you are in custody. I'm going to read you your Miranda rights, okay?
Okay.
Nicole, you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand each of these rights I've just explained to you?
I do.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now?
I'm just hoping this mistake won't completely. I know I did something bad. After the funeral, my aunt tried to help her. She thinks they stole from her when they were just trying to get her affairs in order.
Okay.
She has progressively cut off the family.
Let me just make one thing clear. Nobody ever wants to lose their life partner, their spouse, and watch some other family member come rucksack through their important papers as a, quote, way to help them. Nobody's ever going to take that as a good thing unless it's somebody you truly love and trust. Like maybe one of your kids that you can trust that's not greedy as a MFer. Like, but everybody, people want the chance to grieve. Nobody is worried about their bank affairs 24 hours after somebody's died or 48 hours after somebody's died or, my God, a week after somebody's died. You can wait a couple weeks before you even look at a bank statement, okay? Like nobody, but when people rush in to grab all your bank accounts and your banking information and all that other crap within hours, few days after somebody has passed, that's the last person I would trust to have a hold of them.
Can I stop you quick?
Yeah.
What's your relationship to her?
Stepmother.
Stepmother? Okay.
But she's got all.
And remember, notice how she frames her as her stepmom right here. And on the witness stand, when it was convenient, she'd call her mom. It was her parents' house. She's got Alzheimer's.
And she's gotten, I know this doesn't help. This is just going to prove the point. But she's gotten paranoid. And things roll out to get her. And won't let anyone in the house. I just wanted to get a couple of my dad's mementos.
Now, this is what the prosecutor said. Look at where she's at. She's sitting in the back of a cop car now, telling him she came to get mementos. That woman can't hear her. This was her story from the get-go.
And that's all.
Okay. So what kind of mementos?
A couple pictures. And maybe one of his shirts.
How'd you get in the house tonight?
That window.
The window? Okay, which window?
Where the bag was.
Where the bag? I didn't go back there, I found it, so. What's in the bag?
A couple laptops.
Your laptops or someone else's?
My laptops.
Okay. Nothing else?
Yeah, notice how she paused there when he asked her that question. That's another thing that makes me feel like that one laptop that had that lady's name on it was hers.
Water.
Water?
I used to be here all the time.
Okay, when's the last time you were here?
10-4, I got the RP, Carol.
The last time I was here, October or November.
Okay.
And then she just got progressively
6 months ago.
more paranoid.
But she cared so much about her.
The hammer out there on the steps.
Oh.
I had a hammer.
Oh, you had a hammer there?
That one's mine.
That's yours? Okay.
For protection, yeah.
I know it's your bedroom. Was there anything missing from there?
I don't even know she was.
I know it's your personal space, so. She was laying right here.
She was laying right here. I crawled out of bed and stepped on her.
I'll go take a look at that bag.
Yes, please.
I'll get the adrenaline pumping. So the only thing I found in that bag was 2 laptops. Do you have a laptop in here?
Well, I have 2 laptops that are unplugged, mine and my husband's.
You have 2 laptops?
I had to.
Where are they at?
I don't know.
You want to go look for them? Do you know where they were at?
No, I don't even know. I'm also not.
Do you know what they look like?
They're just little laptops.
Would you know if I showed you?
Maybe.
Okay. I'll go get them. What else?
I have I call it the tin box. It's a metal steel gray box that's always had all the legal documents in it.
Okay.
That's what they broke into before. Had her aunt do it and stole a bunch of stuff out of there. And so I was just looking for that.
Okay.
I can't find that anywhere. But
just want to put the knife away for me?
So what got you to this stage where you thought this was...
The ashes, I think.
The ashes?
My cousin died in November, and my aunt drove all the way out here to get the ashes per an agreement.
Okay.
Just to get here to be told, no, never mind.
And so you're here to get...
A couple moments.
You said pictures, shirt, and ashes?
Well, the ashes got buried before anyone got them. And I just wanted to get a couple things before anything else gets...
Have you tried to talk to her before this?
RP, it sounds like an ex-boyfriend.
We had a fight over the ashes situation.
His question was, have you tried to talk to her before this? And she just brings up the fight about the ashes again.
And she at least right now, wouldn't talk to me. It's just gotten...
She just said, and now she wouldn't talk to me, which is a flat-out lie. It makes me so mad when she says that shit, when she's like, she's the one ignoring me.
Progressively worse.
How long has it been since you last talked to her?
A month.
All right, so right now you're under arrest for burglary, okay?
Even if I didn't take anything?
You broke broke into the house with an intent to commit a crime. So that's burglary. I mean, you're definitely dressed for it, and I understand your situation, but you still can't.
I understand.
I mean, there's other ways to try to go through it.
The door off and on, trying to get in. She Mirandized?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hi.
What's your name?
Nicole.
Are those laptops in your backpack yours?
Yes.
Okay. She's saying she's missing 2 laptops.
I mean, I can show you one. It's got my kid's Minecraft game on it.
Okay. What's the other one for?
I have one for work.
Okay. And then she's saying something about a tin box. It was in question last time. So.
I literally had just got in the house. I hadn't had time to do anything.
Okay.
I'm clearly not good at this, but
Yeah?
I know this sounds like an excuse. She has Alzheimer's. She's been misplacing things. I can show you texts going back months saying, you know, things are missing, this and that.
Okay. I'm just asking, so it's not a reason to break anybody's house.
Yeah, listen to her. Well, she's always missing things. Look at her.
No, that wasn't my intention.
Already. I got an
That just wasn't my intention.
ID, but I don't know if it means anything, but she's a state senator. Yeah. All right, I'm back. The laptops, the story she gave me is pretty good for work and her kids, but it's going into our evidence, so if something does change, we'll get it back to you. Okay. So last time she was after papers. Like, can I just ask the significance of those papers?
That's when the 2 aunts came here. They took all kinds of legal forms. My husband just died. I had the tin box sitting right now out here because I was going through it, trying to find out what I was supposed to do, and I was totally off. The box was wide open, and when I came out, there were papers and stuff scattered all over the floor, and the 2 gals were both walking out with Nancy and Cindy with papers down the front sidewalk to their vehicle, and I said, "Where are you going? What do you got?" And they said, "It's okay, Carol, don't worry. We're just trying to help you and get this legal business all straightened out for we know you're upset."
Do you know why she would want those papers? Like, what would benefit her from having those papers?
My husband didn't have an actual will.
Oh, okay. So you think it's for, like, inheritance stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
It was bank papers. It was all bank papers that they took, basically.
Yeah, I might have to get going because there's another active burglary in Frazee, so.
Thank you.
So there's a discrepancy with the laptops. Are you able to sign into those laptops?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you be able to sign into those laptops?
Yes.
Okay. There's the first one.
Pay attention.
Okay, how come it has Carol's name on it?
It was one that she had given me way back when to use for the kids.
Well, she's missing 2 laptops. That's what she said. So I'm taking this laptop. How about this one?
Oh, this supposedly is the work one, i.e. she's a senator, i.e. a government laptop. I would think that things on this laptop should be secured. But I know I skipped over it, but in her testimony on the stand, she said in one of the clips that she had, and maybe I'll find it for you, but she had allowed her son to use it to try and game on. I'm like, you're letting your kid use your government laptop to play video games on?
Okay, that one's got your name on it.
Right there, state of Minnesota laptop.
That one's got your name on it.
Look.
Okay. That one will stay with your property, but I am taking this one.
That's fine.
Did you try shoving that backpack out and it didn't go out?
Look at her face.
I want to answer your question.
See, that right there tells me all you need to know. He said, did you try shoving that laptop out the window and it wouldn't go? And she kind of like looked up, rolled her eyes, said, I don't want to answer your questions. What does that tell you? I don't know how she got away with that, but I swear to you, I believe that other laptop that had Carol's name on it was Carol's laptop.
You don't have to, like, you understood your rights, so.
That's maybe I should.
Okay. It's okay. Put you back in here. Appreciate you working with that, so.
Taxpayer money, hard at work.
Nicole Mitchell, who has served as a Minnesota State Senator, first elected in 2023 and before was a lieutenant colonel in the Air National Guard, was charged with first-degree burglary, which is a felony, as well as possession of burglary tools. Mitchell was a Minnesota State Senator at the time of her arrest and refused to resign after the incident. She accused her mother-in-law of suffering from paranoia about break-ins and senility. She also refused the release of the body cam footage. After her arrest, she posted on social media changing her story that she claimed in the body cam footage.
Yeah, and see, she tried to block the release of it. There you go.
Instead of saying she was
what's good for the citizens, they feel like is not good for them. They feel like they deserve extra protection. When they're the ones sitting there being paid by American taxpayer dollars, they should be treated exactly the same as any other American citizen.
there to take possession of her.
And that's again when I showed the highlight of that Facebook post. Mine is dealing with the pain of watching a loved one decline due to Alzheimer's and associated paranoia. Remember, she put her on red for a month. I learned of over the weekend now. She's sent over the weekend, which was a lie. She testified that she found those medical records for that month when she had blocked her. She had already seen all that stuff. Grave concern and prompted me to check on that family member. I entered a home. I've come and gone from countless times in the past 20 years. Entered the home. That ain't what happened. I startled her. Oh my God.
Father's mementos. Her social media post claims she was there to simply check on her stepmother due to her health issues, and she startled her, essentially putting the blame on the stepmother's medical problems. This, however, doesn't line up with the fact that she was wearing the most cliché burglar outfit she possibly could have. She then put out a statement saying she has no intention of resigning from her seat in the Senate. However, in mid-July 2025, things took an unexpected turn for her.
New today, a Minnesota State Senator found guilty of burglarizing her stepmother's home has officially resigned. This is Nicole Mitchell. Police body cam video shows the moment officers found her in her stepmom's basement, dressed in all black, in the middle of the night. She testified during her trial she was checking on her stepmom, not stealing from her. A jury disagreed, finding her guilty. Today on her Facebook page, Mitchell thanked her family, friends, and constituents who, quote, trusted her to work on their behalf. She says it's been an honor to serve Minnesota and her community.
Ultimately, more than a year later after the arrest, she was unanimously convicted by a jury, and at that point, she resigned her seat. Governor Tim Walz has issued a special election on November 4th, 2025 for an opportunity to fill Mitchell's seat. Mitchell's sentencing date has been set for September 10th, 2020.
And think about what that date is. That's kind of eerie. But I'm going to show you one other thing. Okay, this was actually shown in the closing testimony of the trial. So I wanted to show this because the cops wound up going back the next day. And I just wanted to show this lady, this, Alzheimer patient, as they come back, and her story stayed exactly the same.
In your bag was just leaves and dirt. To see if anything else was in your bag was just leaves and dirt. So,
while we're up here, could you show us your bedroom and where the person was that you stepped on?
Yeah. Down here. She was laying right here with her hand.
Let me get up here with my body camera so you can describe it. Okay?
Okay, I sleep here.
Yep.
And she was laying right here. Her head was at that end and her feet at this end.
Okay. Is there anything that you keep?
3 drawers under there, but there's...
what do you keep in those drawers?
Socks, underwear. Okay. I checked to see if there was any. This is just an empty box. I was checking to make sure that's just,
Okay, just...
But I did keep... For a long time, I kept my pistol.
Okay.
And I'm sure.
So you leaned up, you stepped out of bed, and you actually.
Something woke me, and I sleep with earplugs. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't figure out what it was that woke me.
Yep.
If it was a loud sound, or if what. So I just. What was that? And I stepped on a body, and it moved.
Yeah.
And I went, what the hell? And I jumped on like this and grabbed, because I thought it was like a little kid or something.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think it. And then when it was bigger, well, at first I thought, a man had broken, but it was too small for a big man. So then I thought it was a little boy or some teenager got in or something. And then she shot out, ran out down the hall through the kitchen and down into the basement.
Okay. I'll follow you, ma'am. Thank you.
Basement?
And you definitely saw this person hang a left and go down?
I was right behind her. And I still thought it was a boy. I never, until you guys told me it was Nicole, I didn't know.
So that is exactly what your taxpayer dollars are paying for. Now, honestly, in all truth, it's just sad. It's sad that woman, went in court and then tried to blame everybody but herself. Watched her stepmother lose her husband of over like 40 years because they'd been together since that Nicole woman had been 4, I think is what they testified to. Like, I think it's important to add context. You see what people will say right after an arrest happens versus when they get an attorney and try to figure out the quickest way to get out of trouble. They really don't care about the truth anymore. It's all about saving their own skin. Whether you be somebody that working at the Waffle House or apparently a state senator out of Minnesota. So, whatever. I just hope that woman has a support system and a family that she can trust, because it sure in the shit ain't that lady. Well, all right. It's probably going to be a pretty long one. I don't even know how long this has been going, but I saw that body cam footage first and I thought, oh, that'd be a good banger to start with. Welcome back to the 5x5 channel after 4.5 years of being gone. It is what it is. We will see what happens with the rest of the folks, that if they get their channel back or not. I hope they do. And I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out. You know what to do.